Hi, I'm Christian Mitchell, the State Representative for the 26th District, and I want to talk a bit today about what's at stake in this election. Now, I don't shy away from telling folks this is perhaps one of the most challenging times for our state. We're facing a governor who refuses to do his job unless we give in to his radical, far-right agenda to destroy unions and slash social services for seniors and working families. Illinois is now entering its 8th month without a budget. Our schools are struggling because they haven't been given the resources they need to succeed, and the rewards of the economic recovery have not yet been seen by working people. And we continue to see the effects of gun violence and poverty in many of our communities. Now, having been raised by a single mom and having spent much of my childhood taking care of my ailing grandparents, I know how this affects everyday people. The working mom who for months lost her child care subsidy had to choose between going to work or staying home with her young daughter. The middle-aged dad whose own father relies on a little bit of home care that allows him to stay in place and not be forced into a nursing home in his old age. The struggling college student who doesn't know how they're going to return next semester if we don't restore their MAP grants. But despite all this, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful because of the CPS students who I've marched with demanding our state invest in them. I'm hopeful because of the union members I rallied with calling on the governor to provide them with living wages and fair workplace conditions. I'm hopeful because of the leaders in our community who have stood with me as we fight back against Rounder's disastrous cuts to critical human services. I have seen us come together and achieve real results. I saw it when we passed universal background checks to curb the flow of illegal guns into our neighborhoods. I saw it when we expanded Medicaid to 500,000 new Illinoisans. I saw it when we passed first-in-the-nation police reforms earlier this year. And I saw it when we brought marriage equality to Illinois. If we could do it then, we can surely do it now. We can win on education funding reform so that every child, regardless of their zip code, has access to a high-quality public education. We can win on stricter gun regulations so that we are no longer dealing with the deaths of kids under 10 in the city of Chicago. We can bring accountability to our law enforcement. We can finally start asking the very wealthy to pay their fair share so that we can invest in the types of assets that allow every child the same chance to be successful. People don't want or ask for government to do everything, but there are some things it should do. Government should be a place where people come together and ensure that everyone can live up to their God-given talent. It ought to be a place where we equalize opportunity for those who are climbing the ladder instead of gilding the success of those who have already achieved. We say that every election is important, but there is truly so much at stake. Now, more than ever, it is critical that we elect leaders who can do the difficult work of creating change, not just talking about it. Serving you for the last 3 years has been the honor of my life. I humbly ask for your vote on March 15th so that we continue to march together toward a stronger and brighter future for everyone in the state of Illinois. Thanks for listening. Let's get to work.